Blessing fingers. You have now learned about notes and rhythm and proper sitting in front of your piano already. It is now time to literally hit those keys and play some music. In this lesson, you will learn about placing fingers. Finger placing really. Yes, because what you will be playing with is your fingers. First, to avoid injury to your wrist, you must place your fingers correctly. Not only that, but also that you may strike each key easily and correctly. If you do not learn to do it rightfully at this early learning stages, you will have problems playing more complex notes later on as you advance. So it is only prudent enough to stitch in time and save 9. Another thing with proper placing of fingers is that your hand will quickly learn where each key is. Have you ever heard of visually impaired person playing the piano so beautifully and wondered just how? It is because in addition to other heightened training, their hands have become trained to know how the keys follow each other. And so without even seeing them, they will play the piano with expertise. While you are playing, a good technique is to play without looking down at the keys. Just like someone who's visually impaired, if you happen to be reading music and at the same time you want to look down to see the keys, you will have to let one go as you cannot do both simultaneously. The only way to play without awkward stops or without losing tempo is by playing without looking down. That will of course demand a lot of practice on placing fingers, but once you pick the technique, nothing can stop you. In order to correctly place your fingers, follow the following general rules of thumb. Point 1. Place your hand just naturally. While playing, do not overstretch your fingers or curl them too much. Let them spread out easily over the keys. It is good to put into use all fingers from the thumb to the pinky finger. Each finger should play the nearest key it easily reaches. Some players tend to entirely use the index finger because it seems easier. Such people are the first to complain when more complex chords are presented to them. When you exercise all the fingers, you will easily navigate over the keys and even more complex chords will just be a breeze. Remember that it's much easier to only play the thumb on white keys and not the black keys, unless it is unavoidable. This is because if you play the thumb on the black keys, it being shorter will require you to move your hand close to the fretboard. The other longer fingers will have to be awkwardly curled so as to play the white keys. Awkwardly positioned fingers means awkward music. To avoid such, let your hand be as naturally placed as possible. Refer to the first lesson of this course to learn more on posture. Point 2. Keep the fingers arched. You should strike the piano keys with your fingertips. For you to achieve that, your fingers must be curled or arched. While in this position, your thumb will stay straight. Imagine holding a small ball with your hand. Your fingers will curl around that ball in some way, right? They should look exactly like that while you are playing the piano. Point 3. Your fingers control the arms. Now, with your fingers on the keys, you will be required to move over different keys to play different notes. There are two ways by which you can move over to them. First, you can move your hand just from the wrist, and second, you can move the whole arm. The first method is injurious to the wrist and you should not adopt it. Instead, learn to move your fingers together with your whole arm. This will utilize more muscles and will keep you playing longer without fatigue. Point 4. Piano fingering. Sheet music utilizes a feature called fingering. It is universal and helpful to you as you begin learning the piano. It works by numbering your fingers and then each finger is assigned a numbered note on the keyboard. The fingers are numbered consecutively from the thumb all the way to the pinky. The thumb is number 1 while the pinky is number 5. This is on both of your hands. Having numbered your fingers, you then place them on the keys, each finger corresponding to its assigned note. The right hand thumb is always placed on middle C and all the other fingers fall into place. The music you will be reading will have numbers therein to help you play the right notes. We shall learn more about piano fingering later on this course. Point 5. Your fingers are unique. There are people who have long fingers, others have short ones. You will still find others with fat ones while others have thin ones. All these people can play the piano if they want and their body features should not limit them. That said, you should know that you too have got your own unique fingers that may not necessarily look like mine. That means my technique of playing the piano may not turn out to be the easiest one for you. You should therefore only adopt that which works best for you when you just naturally place your fingers on the keys. For instance, if you have short fingers, the universal piano fingering may not favor you. You can therefore assign your own numbers to your fingers and harmonize it with the universal numbering. The point is that you should be as comfortable as possible even when playing the complex chords. You have now learned about placing your fingers. Seems it is not just sitting and striking the damn keys, right? Remember that when you adopt the right techniques as early as now, it will be such a breeze at the advanced stages. So you are basically setting the foundation of being the best pianist out there.